Hello everyone. Today I wanted to share my story about my mother wound trauma. I saw a video that I published on my TikTok. If you didn't see, go check it. There was from another creator, and it had how she would like to a relationship to be with her mother, and how it actually was. And it really touched me, and I realized that I didn't do the shadow work related to my mother properly, because it really triggered me. The video, my mother, while I was growing up and as a child, she had this really, really heavy crisis of anger that she started to really scream and breaking things, and she hitting me with the belt. Sometimes she threatened me with chair, and it was really, really heavy for a child to growing up like this. There was always discussions between fights between my mother and grandmother, and every time I tried to express myself, like discomfort, every time I tried to set boundaries, or every time I cried or disagreed with something, I would be hated. And it was really difficult for me to learn how to set boundaries in my relationships. And I didn't understand why until now, that I went through these huge wounds. I didn't have the father figure, and because I didn't ever knew my father, even though I knew who he was, but only by a picture. And my mother would have a moment where she was caring, and but it was really rare, because suddenly she just became another person, just like a monster, and she started to be really aggressive and screaming and breaking things, and it was a really hell. And my grandmother used to tell that she was crazy, that she had mental problems, that she wasn't normal, that she needed to go to a clinic, And I believed it. I thought my mother was just crazy. She was called schizophrenic. She would scream and stuff. So I thought my mother was an evil person for doing those things, for being that aggressive, for being that violent. But when I started my spiritual awakening, I realized that my grandma was a witch, and that she cursed my mother and also me. And she still do this black magic to try to stop me from having money, independence, and also my mother. And I wanted to really bring this awareness, because I know a lot of people bring those kind of entities, evil, to their own homes, their own families. And it only brings them disgrace, drama, illness, and unhappiness. The impact it has is really, really bad. And I didn't succeed to suicide myself because I was protected for my spirit guides. They didn't want me to kill myself, but I tried. Even though I tried, I don't know how I was saved. But my family has a story of suicidals and also situations that were really, really heavy. The story of my grandmother was also really heavy. She was never happy. Like, she couldn't be happy. She was always upset. She was always sick because she was using this dark magic energy. And so I became a victim of this, but also I was the one that was brought to break the pattern, to be the curse breaker of the family, and to live in the truth. And it's really important to heal your wounds with your mother and with whatever part of your family, because they did the best they could with the knowledge that they had, the tools that they had. Now we have another tools available, and we can choose to heal ourselves. We can choose to go through the path of light instead of the path of shadow. And we can choose to be happy. And we can really break the pattern. We can really do the forgiveness work. It's not easy. It will take long, but it will be worth it. You will be released. You will be free to choose different for you and for those to come. If you do want to have children, I really, really recommend you to do that, so you can be the mother or father that you would like to had, and you didn't, because of the unsolved trauma of your mother, of your father, of your family. People that live with trauma unsolved, they will be hurting other people without even having consciousness of that. So if you can choose different, be the difference. Thank you very much.